So last night, I was able to get back into my Twitter account because there were some media personalities that I wanted to attack for continuing to be anti-Trump in a way that's really just divisive and sick. So I reactivated and was able to get back into my Twitter. And a friend of mine who had no other way of contacting me because she doesn't have my Colorado cell phone number, it's a new number. And until last night, I wasn't on Facebook. We'll get to that in a second. Uh, she couldn't contact me on Facebook. So shortly after I reactivated my Twitter account, she DM'd me and informed me that my close friend Ashley Jones has been murdered, stabbed to death. It sounds like it might have been some kind of attempted robbery, and they didn't think she would be home. But her and her friend were stabbed to death. And, I downed a whole bottle of wine last night to try to go to sleep because I just couldn't stop crying. And then this morning in the shower, I kept thinking in the shower, I can fix this. I've fixed worse things. All I have to do is call Ashley and tell her, I just read this crazy thing about you in the news. This can't be real. You have to tell them to correct this. This isn't real. On the elevator this morning in my hotel, a woman walked in, and I was thinking to myself, this woman is biologically the same species, the same socioeconomics, roughly, as the person who stabbed my friend to death. What is this world coming to? Ashley Jones, I met when I was 18 years old in New York. The first time we met was at Cozy Grill near Union Square. I was this nerd. She was beautiful. And we became very good friends over the years. Very good friends. And she visited me out in Las Vegas when I was living out there, and then she visited me in Los Angeles when I was posted there. And what can I say? This is a person who always had my back. And I reactivated my Facebook last night so that I could leave a note on her wall telling her how much she will be missed and how much she is loved. And this could not have happened to a better person. This is a person who could have done anything and chose to just be good to people. And she was happy with her life. She just came back from a vacation. She was a truly good person, and there aren't a lot of those to go around. And then I log into my Facebook, as I was saying, to leave her a note, and the shills have infiltrated my Facebook, my private Facebook. This person, Marva Bliss, posted on my condolence note, "Too busy shilling for shekels with fake news. You're a disgrace, and your legacy is well known." Okay, enough is enough. Pizzagate is real. I felt as a human being and as an American, I had an obligation to bring awareness to this all throughout John Podesta's emails, all throughout his WikiLeaks. Our emails that many experts believe are talking about child trafficking and child abuse. Now, he is an alleged pedophile. He and his brother remain great friends with Dennis Hastert, a convicted child molester. There is so much data out there and so much circumstantial evidence. It's like an avalanche. When you go into the WikiLeaks and you start going through his emails, it's really like an avalanche. And recently it came out that Hillary Clinton wanted to appoint him as Secretary of State had she won. Can you imagine a man with that level of power and that level of protection from immunity? Just the amount of terrible things he would be able to do over the next 4 years with no recourse whatsoever. Thank God Hillary Clinton did not win. Thank God John Podesta's emails are now there for the world to see. And it's almost as if it's divine intervention, to be perfectly honest with you. Because when you look at how his emails were breached, no, it was not the Russians. It was an act of pure happenstance. So somebody sent John Podesta a fake phishing email one of those emails that says, hey, you need to reset your password. Somebody tried to log in. He clicked on it, and he entered his password, which, not a joke, his password was password. He entered his password, and the hacker was able to then log into his Gmail because that person now knows John Podesta's password, and they downloaded his emails and sent it to WikiLeaks. No Russians involved. No omnipotent hacking Russians were involved in this, as far as I can tell. It was his own idiocy. And before he entered his password, which again was password, he actually asked his IT guy, is this legitimate? And from what I understand, his IT guy meant to send to him, no, it's illegitimate, but the autocorrect changed it to, it's legitimate. So he thought that he was good to go and entered his password, and it has changed the course of history. And so if there's nothing to Pizzagate, if there's nothing to John Podesta's emails, why, when I'm mourning for a friend who was fucking stabbed to death, do I have people I don't know on my private Facebook just attacking me? This has gone on for too long. Several of you, actually more than several at this point, have told me that it's very difficult to pledge money for me on Patreon, that they're saying there are problems linking your account, linking your Stripe bank account or something. And people have brought to my attention that Patreon has now shadow banned my page. When you search for David Seaman in their search box, nothing comes up, even though my Patreon is not new, even though it's just my name. It should come up toward the top. It comes up nowhere. It's shadow banned. I am so sick of this. And the PayPal freezes on my account, which have now been lifted. I've been able to determine that that was not due to anything U.S. government related. So what's going on here? Is there a mole within PayPal who can flag accounts for the Clintons or for Podesta? That's what I believe, because recently I had to obtain something where they go through everything, all of your records, and I came back squeaky clean. So to come back squeaky clean and to get the thing that I needed to get does lead me to believe that this was not some kind of flag within any government database. This was something internal at PayPal, and I have no idea what's going on with Patreon. Once you add your pledge, I believe it works, but there shouldn't be that many glitches. You guys shouldn't have that much trouble trying to send me money to keep this channel going. And maybe it shouldn't be kept going. I'm reaching a breaking point, to be perfectly honest. This stuff is so sick, and I don't understand how on a planet of 7 billion humans, aren't there other people that care about this? Because, if you're informed about this, and you do nothing, if you do believe that consciousness is immortal, as many people of faith do, if you do nothing about this, and if you say nothing about this, and if you don't spread the word about this, and if you don't push for this man to be investigated, for John Podesta to be investigated and brought to justice, if you don't do that, that reflects very poorly on you. And I think that carries over. I think it harms your karma. I think it makes you no better than an animal. I have an aquarium, and when fish, when they give birth, when they lay eggs and then the eggs hatch, or when they give live birth, depending on the fish. So when that happens, some of these fish will actually eat their own young. And, I don't really begrudge them for that. It's Mother Nature. They have an attention span of 5 seconds. They swim to one side of the tank, and then they forget what they're doing, and they swim to the other side with fresh excitement, right? So you can't hold that against them. But to turn on your own young is so low and sick that even these fish who are, brainless, there's something revolting about it. But for John Podesta to do the things that he allegedly does, and for people to be attacking me, when I really went out on a limb, and when a number of other researchers really went out on a limb, and when we turned out to be right, it's beyond the pale. This level of harassment, I'm not going to go into everything, but all of the anti-Semitism that's been thrown my way. I haven't been to a synagogue in years. I've never been to Israel. Yes, by birth, I'm a Jew. I haven't made that the fulcrum, the focal point of my coverage here. And yet people are saying incredibly anti-Semitic, evil things about me. And it's evil to go on a person's private Facebook when they're mourning and post that I'm shilling fake news. There's nothing fake about Pizzagate. And to that person in particular, I hope and pray. I pray to my God, the God of the Israelites, the God of Abraham, the God of King David. I pray to my God that you burn in hell because you're not a good person. And the minority of people in the comment section that have been saying truly horrific things about me, and the minority of people on Twitter that have been saying truly horrific things about anybody covering Pizzagate, I hope and pray you burn in hell, because you are covering up something that is so sick, and you are harassing people that are trying to do a very good thing that's really quite tough on a number of levels. No sympathy. And it's so sick. I don't know. I don't know how much further this is going to go. It's reached a point. It's reached a boiling point. Enough is enough here. At what point do you stop harassing me? I mean, I can't take that much more, and I just want to be left the fuck alone for a little bit. You know, my valuation of the species has been lowered. Are we just fish in the aquarium that eat their own young? Is that what we are? Are we just a bunch of animals? Are we actually human beings? Are we actually Americans? Are we people who have values? Are we actually Christians and Jews? Are we actually people who don't let things like that happen? Are we actually people who do speak up when something that atrocious is there? And final thing, I will not be at the inauguration. Debt of gratitude to Brittany Pettibone for offering me a ticket to the Deplorable. I would have loved to have gone, but if I'm there, I will drag everybody down because I am not in a good mood. You know, maybe this dimension is not all it's cracked up to be.
Rest in peace, Ashley. You will be missed. Your love. And you'll be